We call the Middle Rio Grande in New Mexico the ribbon of life. It makes up about 2% of the landscape, these riparian forests, but they account for over half of the wildlife in the state. And so these places are vital. You know, our studies show about 2/3 of bird species could go extinct within a generation or two. One of the most important bird species in the Middle Rio is the Sandhill Crane. We get about 30,000 Sandhill Cranes that come onto the Middle Rio every winter. That makes up about 90% of the Rocky Mountain population.
Climate change is the biggest threat to birds. That's why we're really looking for responsible renewable development that addresses immediate bird fatalities as much as you can, but also addresses the bigger issue of climate change for birds.
The alternative, if we don't do something about our renewable energy needs, is pretty bleak for wildlife and for birds.
That was a reason that we supported SunZia.
SunZia is the nation's largest renewable energy project. In fact, it's the largest in the Western Hemisphere. It's 3.5 gigawatts of energy. To put that in perspective, that is 1,000,000 homes that'll be powered by clean, renewable energy from here in New Mexico instead of fossil fuels.
For the SunZia line, we asked that the company install an avian collision avoidance system that would reduce mortality of Sandhill Cranes running into those wires as they cross the Rio Grande. We also asked them to include the Herkenhoff mitigation project as part of the entire package. This is a property that conservation leaders have coveted in this state for decades, and we've wanted it to be sort of part of the fold for quite a while, and so we're finally getting, with this project, that's finally happening. The National Audubon Society is going to manage the restoration of the property that's going to ultimately lead to being in a great condition for the Sandhill Cranes and be taken over as a wildlife management area by the state of New Mexico. We're taking 1,100 acres of alfalfa fields and converting them to wet meadows, some grain crops for cranes, bosque, other floodplain habitat that will all look and act like the natural condition.
I think Audubon deserves enormous credit because they came to the table so constructively, focused on how we protect birds, but also focused on the need to solve this energy transition for climate change.
SunZia is unique because of its size and scale. It is moving the needle on our renewable energy build out in the West in a big way. But it does so in a way that actually provides a net benefit to the wildlife and the other communities and things that it shares its space with. Audubon is really excited to be part of this restoration project and part of making sure that the Middle Rio remains a verdant ribbon of life for future generations of New Mexicans.